fire. You put her in the woods. Just treated her like she was nothing when she was well loved.
He's done a monstrous crime. He has done a crime that he needs to be locked away and thrown away.
It doesn't matter who you are and what you know. Any little piece of information helps my family. My family is hurting. We are broken. We are devastated. We are upset. And we just really want answers from us.
In the early hours of September 4, 2023, 27-year-old Dominique Lomax was found dead after her boyfriend had tricked her into meeting a rich man who could change her life, but she never made it back home alive. At around 9 a.m. on September 6, a passerby near Memphis International Airport spotted a weird-looking fire burning on the highway in a secluded area. So they reported the situation to the fire service for fear of it expanding. But when firefighters got to the scene and put out the fire, they made a horrifying discovery. It was human remains. This is the bone-chilling case of Dominique Lomax, and in this video we will uncover 3 red flags that could have saved her. 27-year-old Dominique Lomax was born on October 27, 1995 in Memphis, Tennessee. While not much is known about her father, she spends a lot of time with her mother, Lois Lomax, and her siblings, Deontay Russell, Mie Lomax, and Danatra Lomax. She was described by those who knew and loved her as the life of the party.
She described her daughter as the life of the party and someone who cared for any and everyone.
Dominique had an undeniable energy. She could party like there was no tomorrow. Yet she was also thoughtful, caring, and full of life, which were evident on her social media posts where she shared daily vlogs and took part in trending challenges. It was obvious Dominique's social media painted a picture of joy and excitement, but reality often holds more than what's captured in a post. While Dominique blossomed into an incredible woman, glimpses of her past suggest that her journey growing up wasn't always smooth. Dominique was said to be the type of person who showed care and consideration to any and everybody, no matter where they were from or what they looked like. Her love knew no bounds, and it was always given freely. With her vibrant energy and infectious personality, Dominique had a way of drawing people in. So, it was no surprise when she caught the attention of a man who would ultimately change her life forever. Dominique started dating a man, and her family fully supported their relationship. They were happy to see her in love and believed he was a good man and might become a great partner. At first, everything seemed perfect and their bond appeared strong, but sometimes what looks perfect from the outside doesn't always reflect what's happening behind closed doors. In 2021, Dominique welcomed her baby boy with her partner, and despite the challenges of new motherhood, she had a strong support system. Her family stood by her side, helping with late-night feedings, babysitting, and doing everything they could to make life easier for both Dominique and her son. However, after giving birth, things began to change. The once happy relationship between Dominique and her baby's father started to deteriorate. They began having small disagreements which turned frequent, and before long their connection simply fizzled out, leaving Dominique to navigate single motherhood with the love and support of her family. Little did all know what was about to happen next. While the relationship between Dominique and her baby daddy would come to an end eventually, she didn't let that affect her personality. She was still the kind and friendly person who could strike a conversation with anyone at any time, which is why it didn't take her long to start dating someone new, a man who would change her life in ways she never could have imagined. Dominique had always maintained a very close relationship with her siblings. They would always call to check in with each other, wanting to make sure each is doing great and that they were loved. But even with the love and support of her siblings, Dominique was facing challenges that would soon take her life in an unexpected direction. So, on September 5th, 2023, during one of her routine check-ins, Dominique's sister Danatra reached out as she always did to check on her sibling. However, this time was different. Something felt off. Unlike previous calls where Dominique would answer immediately or return the message soon after, except this time around, something very unusual happened. You see, when Danatra called Dominique's cell phone, a man picked up the call. Dominique's sister was initially shocked that a strange man was answering her sister's cell phone, but she quickly got herself together from the shock and started asking questions like, "Who are you? And why are you answering my sister's phone?" That was when the man revealed a shocking detail, a detail that would set off a chain of events that no one could have imagined. The man explained to Danatra, Dominique's sister, that he had found Dominique's Samsung Galaxy phone while he was doing some yard work around the area. Of course, Dominique's sister knew immediately that something had gone horribly wrong. It wasn't adding up, because everyone who knew Dominique knew how very much attached she is to her phone.
I was just calling to check on her, and they was like, we just found this phone. My sister don't leave her phone.
It just didn't make sense that she would just toss it or lose it. But Denitra had no idea the worst was yet to happen. So she quickly arranged with the stranger to pick up the phone from his location. And once she was able to retrieve the phone from the stranger, she informed the rest of the family about what was happening. The whole family decided it was best they called the authorities to file a missing persons report. Once the report was made, the urgency of the situation became clear. Law enforcement understood that the first 24 hours in a missing persons case were the most critical. Every second counted. With this in mind, officers had to move quickly, but at the same time, something intriguing would end up happening. Someone would come forward with information that would change everything. Just within 24 hours of Dominique being reported missing, her boyfriend came forward to reveal that he had been the last one to see her alive. He further told the authorities that on September 4th, 2023, at around 4:30 to 5 a.m., he had dropped off Dominique at Highland Meadows Apartments in Whitehaven. However, he also provided more information that would soon raise investigators' suspicions. He told investigators that Dominique had told him that she was going to meet a very old friend of hers named Rico the Rich Man, a man she hadn't seen in a long time. Now, he told officers that he didn't know who Rico the Rich Man was, nor had he seen him. All he did was to just drop off Dominique, and he just went on his way. According to him, after he had dropped her off, the last he ever heard from Dominique was a text she had sent him saying she was about to go into a place. But when he had replied asking her where she was going into, he never got a reply back. This revelation seemed too straightforward to the investigators. They began to wonder, was he telling them the full truth, or he was hiding something? Investigators assigned to the case decided to question the man who had found Dominique's cell phone, hoping they could get more information from him. But unfortunately, they couldn't get much information from him. He revealed that he had just found the phone. He didn't know who owned it, nor did he see who tossed it there. But he said something that caught the investigators' attention. He revealed to investigators that before Dominique's sister called, a man had already called the phone. The caller had arranged to meet him to retrieve the phone, but when the agreed time arrived, the man never showed up. This detail immediately caught the investigators' attention. Whoever had called must have known Dominique and had an interest in finding the phone before anyone else found it. But if that was the case, why did they suddenly back out? Right at that moment, investigators knew something wasn't adding up. Meanwhile, as they dug deeper, something else confused the investigators. If the male caller had known Dominique, why did he not reach out to her family or the authorities to tell them her phone had been found by a stranger? The investigators had questions, but what they didn't know was this was the beginning of a chilling series of events that would unfold. The police immediately classified Dominique's disappearance as a missing person case and released her information to all the relevant police departments all over Tennessee, as well as the relevant websites. Dominique's family was also doing all they could to find her. They created missing persons flyers with her photo, height, hair color, last known outfit, and the location where she was last seen, hoping for any leads. They also included details from Dominique's boyfriend, such as the text she had sent him and information about the man he claimed she was supposed to meet, Rico the Rich Man. The flyers were posted all over the city, shared on social media, but after a full day, there were no tips, no clues, and no leads, just silence. It was still only the first day, so everyone was optimistic but a bit cautious. If at all she had been taken by force, they knew the first 48 hours is critical, as the chances of finding her reduce significantly if she's not found within the first 48 hours. Meanwhile, across town, another piece of the puzzle was falling into place. On September 6, 2023, 2 days after Dominique Lomax's disappearance, a passerby driving near a Tennessee airport noticed a